Shimano just released like a month ago a new update for the Shimano EP8 motor and also the Shimano EP6. The EP6 only got a few new features, but the new EP8, the EP801, it got the boost, extended boost function, which is hopefully quite a big deal. We just tested the EP8 motor to check for some overrun, and we found in boost mode there was a little bit, but now there should be a lot. In the future, when we get the new Shimano eTube app, then you can do this update yourself. And you can do it yourself today if you got the Shimano PCE 02, the tool used to hook up the bike to a computer. So the Merida we borrowed, it has already got the new software. So the assist character and the maximum torque, those are the old settings. And then there's the assist carryover, which is new. That's the motor overrun. It's short by default, medium or middle, and long. So we'll just start with short. And the assist cutoff. It's basically how close to the motor cutoff speed can you go before the motor starts ramping down. It doesn't affect the speed which the motor cuts, but it affects how much in advance the motor ramps down the power. So it's in the lowest setting for all three modes, and we'll start with that. And you can, of course, increase it to middle and aggressive. So it starts cutting at about 25 kilometers per hour. A bit difficult to say, like 24.8, 25.2. But there is still a nice amount of power at 25.5. And at about 26, the power is gone. So it's comfortable. It's quite noticeable the way it ramps down. Motor overrun test from a standstill. I push the pedal, motor engages. I remove the pedal, bike stops immediately. Let's try pushing a bit harder. Yeah, a bit of motor overrun. So when track standing, slightly pushing, there is no overrun. But if you stab it, you get a little bit. So we'll increase the assist carryover, the motor overrun. And while we're at it, we're increasing the cutoff behavior too. Both to the mid setting. Now it seems we're at about 25.5 before it starts ramping down. So I'm surprised about how much more aggressively it ramps down in the mid setting. Then there's the assist carryover in the middle setting. Let's try from a standstill. Pushing carefully on the pedals and removing the pedal once the motor activates. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it does anything. Same behavior as in the low setting. How about if we push a bit harder? That's quite a bit more than in the low setting. One thing we forgot to show you in the low setting is the stabbing test. So you're basically doing quarter pedals and the motor will activate and it will shove you. So you can go up a hill just pedaling like this. Let's try. Nice! It's a huge difference in the low setting. Assist carryover long and assist cutoff aggressive. Yeah, that was quite a difference. It cuts very aggressively. You get motor power up until, it's difficult to say, but a bit more than the middle setting, so like 25.7, 0.8 perhaps, and it's completely gone at like 26. So yeah, it cuts instantly. The power is, maximum power is there, and you can feel a pulse in the pedals, and then there's nothing. Yeah, that's a bit jerky, riding around 26 kilometers cutoff speed. It's a bit of braking and powering up again and braking. Not super comfortable. Assist carryover in the most aggressive setting. Just pushing the pedal and removing the foot once the motor engages. and there is no overrun. How about if we push a bit harder from a standstill? Yeah, that's quite a lot of overrun. How about if we do that stabbing pedaling motion with sort of quarter pedal turns? Nice. It behaves very much like the Bosch race motor in this aggressive setting, and I think the way the motor power drops when approaching or going above motor cutoff speed, it seems even a tad more aggressive. This new Shimano firmware 4.3.0 can only be installed using the Shimano PCE 02 hardware that we just showed you. Most likely you will need to go to a dealer or a shop to have that done. And the downside of that is you go in and you ask to change the settings and also have the firmware updated, but you don't really know which settings will you choose. Well, for the EP6 it's quite easy. That gets the new auto shift update, which we haven't tested, and it gets the assist cutoff. The EP801 gets both of those, and in addition it gets this carryover function. On the EP6 we would ask to get the assist cutoff set to medium. Riding the assist cutoff in low, it seems basically the same as the old EP8 and the old EP6. But increase it to medium or middle and it will give you like 0.3 perhaps kilometers per hour more resistance before it starts ramping down, or even 0.5, and I think it's still quite comfortable to ride. If you push it to the max, it becomes very aggressive and very uncomfortable. You're pedaling, approaching cutoff, and bam, it drops off. You feel a pulse in the pedals. They sort of move ever so slightly with no resistance before you get a lot of resistance. So it makes for a very jerky ride and quite disturbing. It's more aggressive than the Bosch Performance CX Race, the way it ramps down. We preferred riding it in the middle setting. And then it's the carryover function that is only available on the Shimano EP801. Leaving it in the low setting, it seems to behave just like the previous software versions. Increase it to middle and there is a noticeable difference. We suddenly get a motor that definitely has motor overrun. Not super aggressive, but still a nice upgrade. And then if you go to the assist carryover long setting, you get a lot of assistance motor overrun. And that might be a bit much to some, perhaps. I quite liked it in the long setting. I believe I would ride the cutoff in the middle, and I would start with the motor overrun in long. But you will be able to change these settings yourself eventually, sometime this fall, Shimano says. So keep a lookout for the new eTube app. You need the version that comes after 5.3.2. I very much like this upgrade. It made the Shimano EP801 sort of a Bosch race motor and even a tad more racier. Having the option to change these settings is very welcome. Putting everything in max makes it a more aggressive race motor than the Bosch Performance CX Race. Putting everything to low makes the motor very calm, very well behaved, very easy to control. So great, thanks for giving us the options. That's it. Appreciate any likes and subscribes. Thanks for watching.